Hello everybody, it's Josie here. So I am back with another two-book review today. So the two books that I'm going to be talking about is this book over here is Skin by E.M. Reapy. I think I'm saying that right. Reapy. And then the other book is Walk Through Walls by the fabulous Marina Abramovic. So what do these two books have in common? So at first glance, this is a novel. This is it's actually an autobiography, and you know, quite different subject matter, but they are connected. Stay with me here. So the things that connect these two books, and I'll be honest, I didn't actually think that they would be connected, particularly this one. I kind of went into this one a little bit, not blind, but I wasn't really sure what the story was about. It just sounded cool. So the things that connect these two books are, I would say skin, the word skin on this cover. So both of these books talk about the body, talk about inhabiting the body, inhabiting your skin, kind of pushing yourself physically past limits that you thought you had. In this one, the main character goes through a transformation, both I guess in her mental state, but also in her physical state. And in this one, Marina, for those of you who don't know who Marina Abramovic is, she's a amazing artist, particularly performance artist, and she does a lot of performance art that really requires endurance of the body and the mind. So that's really what connects these two books together for me. It's also that kind of life journey of these two women, obviously one fictional, one real, and then also Amsterdam. Amsterdam connects these two books because Marina lived in Amsterdam for a long time, and the main character in this book, she goes to Amsterdam on holiday as well at the end of the book, and I didn't know that happens. So that's what connects these books. So let me talk about this one first, and then I'll talk about the Marina Abramovic one. So Skin. First of all, quite a cool cover. I love the way that that's kind of wrapped around the back. So what this book was about, so the reason I picked up this book was because the blurb said it was about, would you travel the world to feel at home in your own skin? So I love the idea of traveling to kind of, I guess, find yourself and find out who you are. I think that's what a lot of us do, including myself, as we go to other places to experience new things, to kind of, for me, to help on my own personal journey and to just open my mind up. And that's what kind of attracted me. So I read that and I just thought, you know, I need to pick up this book. But more so, the protagonist, Natalie, she's Irish. And this book, what I love about it is, and what you might like or not like, is that it does kind of jump around a little bit from chapter to chapter of, you know, she's off traveling, then she's back in Ireland, you know, then she's kind of somewhere else again. So it does kind of jump around a bit, but I quite like that. And I love the fact that, yes, this is about, you know, she travels to different places, she experiences new things, she meets new people, and that kind of helps her grow. But there's also this element of Natalie's always felt uncomfortable, like they say on the blurb, in her own skin, but very much physically. She has always considered herself overweight. She's kind of struggled with her weight and her kind of image, her bodily image of herself and how she feels, and about and with binge eating. And that's very heavily discussed in this book. So I very much related to that, but I guess that is a trigger warning. So if you do have issues around, you know, weight and binge eating, that is discussed within the context of the book. But what I loved about that is she also then kind of goes on this journey to accept and also improve, I guess you could say, because that's what she wants to do. She wants to change her physicality as well, and she gets a job at a health centre in Ireland where she does like admin, and then she can kind of go to some free classes, and a girl who works there kind of persuades her to go, and she ends up loving it, and she has this journey into kind of the fitness industry as well. And again, this book just kind of came for me at the right time because there were, like I said, a lot of issues that I very much connected with. There's also this there's a bit about fitness and getting into the fitness industry, which is something that I'm currently kind of doing and looking at. I'm doing some online courses around nutrition, because it's always been something that I've been interested in. So, you know, in the future, that may be something that I'm looking at. So it really resonated heavily with me, this book. But besides that, I just find it a really interesting and inspiring read, and I love that. And I just thought it was fantastic. So I would definitely recommend this book. And she is naturally is a bit of a complicated protagonist. You may not always like her, but I found this book really interesting and fascinating. And this is actually one that I'm going to keep on my shelf because I am definitely going to read this again. And like I said, there was a little treat in the end when she was in Amsterdam, which, I mean, I'm wearing my shirt I got in Amsterdam today, which we all know I really love. And then the second book is this one over here. This is, again, God, I love this cover. It's so beautiful. That photograph of Marina Abramovic with the scorpion on her face. So this is the autobiography, Walk Through Walls. And this is Marina Abramovic basically telling us about her life and her journey all the way from her childhood through to I think she's in her 60s now, and just her whole career and how she developed and her relationships along the way, her relationship with herself, her relationships to others, and like I said, that connection with, she does very kind of physical art, and a lot of the things she does are, you know, she has to have such unbelievable physical and mental endurance, and kind of mastering that. And the end of the book, she actually talks about the Abramovic method, which is kind of this method of almost like going outside yourself, of kind of sinking into that place where you can kind of do anything, and you're outside almost of your physicality. And it's really fascinating. Lady Gaga actually studied with Marina Abramovic at her kind of arts academy that she has now, arts institute she has now, and like I said, it talks about her being born in Yugoslavia, and you know, the war and all of that happened, being born in that kind of communist post-communist society, and talks about her parents, very complicated relationship, particularly with her mother, the relationship she's had with the men in her life, but also just this incredible artistic mind and artistic spirit, and what she's been able to come up with and create is unbelievable. I am a huge fan. Marina is one of my favorite artists, so I know quite a bit about her going into the book, but I still found it incredibly interesting. And what I would also heavily recommend, and I'm actually going to go and get it because I've got it on DVD. 1 second, I'm back. So what I was going to say, what I would heavily recommend is, if you want to know more about Marina, is this gorgeous it's like a behind the scenes documentary. So it's Marina Abramovic. You can see the artist is present. It's gorgeous. This actually made me cry, which is insane. But so basically, The Artist is Present refers to the retrospective show that Marina had at MoMA, and it was to cover her whole career. But what she did was she did a new piece where she actually sat in the museum, and people could come and sit opposite her, and you know, most people just sort of sat there looking at her, and it sounds like such a simple, kind of almost crazy idea, but it was so incredibly moving, and so many people were crying, so many people had moments, and it moved me just watching the documentary. And this is great because it kind of goes into her whole, I think, year of prep that she had for this show, and shows her life, and she is, like I said, an incredibly inspiring woman, incredibly fascinating. So I would hugely recommend this documentary as well, if you can get it on whichever format you can get it on. But I would hugely recommend this if you are interested in more of Marina's life, and she's just an inspiration and a wonderful, wonderful woman. So those are the books and the media. Actually, having read this, I'm now reading, speaking of Amsterdam and artists, I'm currently reading Van Gogh's Ear, which I actually bought at the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam. And it made me think that I love art, and I love artists, and I love kind of reading about them as well. So, and I've quite a few books and like documentaries and stuff. So I'm going to do another video just based on recommending stuff to do with art and artists and documentaries and books and stuff like that. So look out for that coming as well if you're interested in that topic. But for now, these are the 2 books. These are both 5-star reads for me. I don't really want to rate them, but yeah, absolutely enjoyed them, loved them. Let me know what you think if you've read them, if you're a fan of artists. Let me know who your favourite artist is. And yeah, I will speak to you all again very soon. Hope you're keeping well and safe. Thanks for watching. Bye.